Hey guys, Zach here with Camp Miracle Paws. Today we have little Miss Stevie. She's going to be our little demo puppy, all as happy as can possibly be. What we're going to be covering in today's session, our video, is the leashes that we like to use, purposes behind the leash, and things that we've been able to see have been able to create better habit forming behaviors out of our puppy quicker and having a higher success ratio of getting things across to my puppy as far as context clues are concerned, cutting down some hassles naturally by putting ourselves into a position for more success. Okay, so first thing we're going to cover the different leashes that we're using. The first leash that we're using, leash that everybody has already been able to see me use hopefully a few times before. This is just our standard long line. This one is a slip lead. This is a 10-foot long line. We do have a 6-foot variation of this long line. The purpose of this long line is convenience of being able to be tethered to your puppy if you're holding on to the line, and convenience of being able to tether the line around your waist, tying it up, you're connected to your little one, so that way we can work on some different passive things throughout the day, but also just having the convenience of being tethered to my little one, so that way I don't have to really wonder where is she wandering around. Second line that we're going to talk about is moving into our nylon slip lead. Nylon slip lead is just a cheap little line. It's there so that way you can buy an abundance of them. There's about 3 or 4 of them inside the house, so that way they can be put here, put there, at this door, at the back door, inside the living room, on the kitchen counter. Places that you know that you are naturally going to be inside with your puppy, and they're there readily available for whenever you don't have something on it, your puppy. It's there so that way you can put something on your puppy. It allows you to have some form of connection with your little one, but also the convenience of also being able to put them into chill if you just so happen to need to. Okay? The last line that we're going to be talking about that helps with everything that we're covering is the longest version and the longest variant of the long line that we've been using, which is just a very long line. This is a different variation of the standard long line, so that way you can have up to about 20, 25, 30, whatever reinforcement length that you're going to need with your puppy, whether it's inside purposes or outside purposes. This will probably typically end up being your standard outside line, so that way you have something with distance to be able to call for your puppy and reinforce for what you've asked for. So moving into the meat and potatoes of what we use the line for, mainly the line is used so that way we can teach our little one a very convenient, easy way to be able to start setting in status quos for my puppy, so we can cut down on some confusion on what exactly they believe that they're supposed to be doing, when and where, what and how. Okay? So to begin with, setting ourselves up for success as far as our environment goes, as well as you can control the environment for the beginning sakes of teaching chill, which is this position that I have my puppy in with the line. It's going to allow you to start working your kindergarten in kindergarten, or your kindergartner in kindergarten, so you can have a higher version of success, so that way you're not beginning with your little one down here who doesn't even understand a simple 1 + 1 question. I want to keep them in that zone instead of starting them where we may accidentally begin outside the house, down the street, on a vacation home area, right? Somewhere else besides a beginning comfortable zone for your little kindergartner to start inside of a very well-controlled situation and area by the pack leader, so they can feel comfortable and relaxed enough to want to do nothing, okay? So again, the only way that we're going to be able to even achieve that in the beginning is to start with our kindergartner in kindergarten. So take your time with your kindergartner to get them to a point where whenever you stand on the line, kind of like what we have going on down here with my little one right now, where they believe that it's, I guess, time to just do nothing. So I might as well get really relaxed, really comfortable, lay out on my side, close my little eyes, little peepers go shut, so that way I can get a very comfortable, relaxed little one that's looking to actually just take a nap and let me take over any of the worries that are going around inside the current environment, right? This is a well-controlled environment for my little one, so this guarantees success. Now, depending on the time frame, it may not be as quick as what we saw my little one do down here, and that's completely fine, because it takes a good couple of sessions, may take a couple of weeks to get your little one to feel comfortable enough with you to let their guard completely down, completely relax to the environment around them, and let themselves just become chill, which is what our end goal is, which is why we're okay with them taking their time, because our expectations are low, so that way they can achieve that. Okay? So, other things that I want to be able to use with this line is the modern convenience of being able to set myself up for success. Telephones, sticky notes, simple things that you can use that are messages and notes for other people to be aware that you're needing them to do something for you, or it's a reminder for you, so that way you can do something for your little one. Using a phone, sending a text does allow you to know that somebody's going to be coming into your door. If somebody's coming in through the front door or the back door, and you're at least aware of what's going on. If you're tethered, you can be tethered, put your foot on the line, you've guaranteed a lot of success with you and your puppy. If you're not tethered to your little one, but they do have the line on, they're at least being able to be set up for success, so that way you can at least go get your line, put your foot on the line, so that way your puppy and you can take your time at that moment, so it doesn't become a sporadic situation, but it does allow them to understand, I guess right now we're going to go do nothing. Somebody comes in through the front door, they're already set up for success. They can no longer bolt towards that front door, so there's no puppy trying to escape out the front door. They can no longer try to hop on that person, so the jumping situation goes away, as long as everybody is cool and calm and we move about our day and don't really acknowledge puppy very much in the beginning, because we are working with a kindergartner. We should find ourselves having more and more success. As this situation happens more and more and more and more and more often, it starts to become cookie cutter for your little one, and they start to understand, I guess this is just how I should meet people whenever it comes to doing this situation. That's when you start seeing a little bit of progress in your kindergartner. But just because you see some, do not leave. Stay in that little area for a little bit longer, let it mesh, let it mold, let it kind of be able to be solidified, to understand the idea right there is what you're thinking is a great idea, and let that become a status quo for you to start believing in, right? But the only thing that's holding that thing there together is the fact that we have a line on our little one that guarantees that this whole process is going to happen. If you have a line on, at least more often than not, you will start seeing dividends in your baby's behaviors. But if we're not using the line more often than not, you're starting to see that your baby is making progress, but not a lot of progress, where you could be, depending on how hard you want to take this situation, depending on how much you want to be able to start making bigger changes in your little one's world. But it is going to take a lot more pressure on both ends. So, as far as other things that we can start using this line for, recall purposes, we can start using the line for outside, inside, being able to do recall, reinforcing it with your line, little bumps of guidance to let your little one understand where they're supposed to be going. They get to the person, they do the hand game, nudge the hand, mark the yes, good stuff, cookie goes down. Hopefully after the cookie goes down, we put our foot on the line, so that way we can guarantee certain other behaviors can happen, so certain jobs can start taking over inside your puppy's head to start guaranteeing certain positions out of our little one. But again, a lot of that is only going to be reinforced as long as you have the line on, and as long as you're only working inside a certain grade zone that you're going to be able to see success in. All right, so finalizing off on everything, the idea behind the lines, multiple lines for different applications guarantee success in different situations that you're working on. You'll get more success as long as you're working in a grade zone that your puppy is capable of actually working inside of. The line just allows you to have a little bit more consistent success and more reinforcement for what you're actually needing out of your puppy. The idea behind the line as well, whenever you can be tethered, it does allow for multiple chill sessions to happen inside a good grade zone, inside different rooms, so that way we can start accelerating the process for a puppy to understand what to do with themselves.